Hey guys, in this video I'm going to do an example from your Unit 8 Topic 3 practice packet. This is Density and Applications Practice, and I'm going to go ahead and do number 1. You should definitely follow along and take notes. Just watch your work. We're not going to have a lot of extra space. We're going to pretty much use up everything, so just make sure it stays nice and neat and organized like mine is. Okay, so the problem says that a bar of soap comes in a box that has the dimensions 8.8 centimeters by 6 centimeters by 2.8 centimeters. The density of the soap is 0.932 grams per centimeters cubed. The soap is to be shipped in a box that has a 3.5 pound weight limit. How many boxes of soap can be shipped at one time? So in order to determine how many boxes of soap we can ship, we need to know how much one box of soap weighs. Because of that weight limit, we know that we can't put more than 3.5 pounds in the box. So we have to know how much each bar of soap in its box is going to weigh. In order to do that, I have to start with volume. All of these questions are going to start with volume. Unless volume is given to you, you should be calculating volume as your first step every single time. And the reason why is because if we know ultimately we want to find weight, we said that density is used to find the weight of an object if we know its density and if we know its volume. So that's exactly what we know. We have a density, we are able to calculate a volume, and so that's how we're going to find the weight of our soap. So starting with the volume, a box is a rectangular prism, so my formula is big B times H. Big B is the area of the base, which it's going to be a rectangular prism, so I'm going to have length times width times height. So my volume is 8.8 times 6 times 2.8. And so overall my volume is 147.84. Now up to this point I have told you to leave units off from your answers. And we're still going to do that for our final answer, but because this topic is all about unit conversions, we really need to have our units along the way. So since each of our lengths were measured in centimeters, our volume is going to have the unit centimeters cubed. Alright, the next step is that we're going to make a list of conversions. Alright, in the problem, I gave you a conversion. You need to recognize that this is a conversion rate right here. That's one of the things that I said about density. We're going to treat it as a conversion rate, and again, use it to go back and forth between the units involved in the rate. So in this case, I can go back and forth between grams and centimeters cubed. So I'm going to write this as my equivalent statement. So 0.932 grams equals 1 centimeters cubed. Okay. And then I'm also going to state what I want to find. So I want to find my weight. And I know that I want my weight in pounds because it gives me the weight limit of the shipping box in pounds. So my weight is going to be pounds. Okay, so this is a conversion that was given to me in the problem. I most likely, in most of these problems, I'm going to be using more conversions. I have that reference sheet with conversions available to me as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is always start with our volume. So I'm going to write our volume. Okay. And I know that I eventually want to get to pounds. What might even be helpful is on a separate piece of paper to kind of make a plan. And I'll show you what I mean. You may not need to do this as you get better at these kinds of problems, but to start with, this can really be helpful. So we are starting over here with our volume in centimeters cubed. We know that we want to end with a weight in pounds. Okay, so the whole idea is that I have to kind of connect the dots using my different conversion rates, I have to get from centimeters cubed to pounds. So I have one conversion rate to start with, which again tells me that I can convert from centimeters cubed to grams or grams to centimeters cubed. Since I'm starting with centimeters cubed, this is going to allow me to convert to grams. So my first conversion rate is going to allow me to go to grams. Now I'm still not done because eventually I have to get to pounds. So at this point I wasn't given any other conversions, so I'm going to go to my purple reference sheet. And I'm going to look for some options. At this point I'm on grams, so scanning my sheet. I don't have grams on my reference sheet. So if that happens, we kind of seem to have gotten stuck here. Sometimes we can work our way from the end. So we're going to jump to the end and see if we can see what we can do from pounds and see if we can find a conversion rate in pounds on our sheet. And right here, I see a conversion rate that's going to allow me to go from pounds to kilograms. So from pounds, before I get to pounds, I want to get to kilograms, because I know that if I can get to kilograms, I'll be able to get to pounds using this conversion rate. Sorry, this one right here. So what I want to do, actually either of these will work. They both go from pounds to kilograms. It literally doesn't matter. So I'm going to pick one and add it to my conversion list. I'm going to use 1 kilogram equals 2.2 pounds. Okay. So then all I have to do now is connect the dots between grams and kilograms. And this is one of the conversions that you are really supposed to know. It's not on your reference sheet, but it is one of the ones that I said is going to come up a lot that you're going to have to know just off the top of your head. So we know that 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. So we're actually going to be able to go right from grams to kilograms. And I'm just going to add that third conversion rate on my list. So I have 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. Okay, so now at this point I should have all of my conversions. I know what each of my steps is where each of my steps is going to take me. So now I'm going to go back to my problem with volume, or starting with volume, and I'm going to start setting up my unit conversions. So I'm going to multiply. I'm actually going to do multiple conversions here, so I think the easiest thing is actually just to go ahead and put these right in parentheses. So we have centimeters cubed. We want to get rid of centimeters cubed. So using my first conversion rate, I have a centimeters cubed here. I'm going to put that on the bottom so it reduces. In the numerator, I'm going to have 0.932 grams. Okay. So at this point, when I multiply, I'm going to have centimeters cubed reduced with centimeters cubed, and right now I have grams, which is where I was going next. Next, I want to take grams to kilograms. So I'm going to set up my next conversion rate. I have grams in the numerator here, so I want grams in the denominator here. I can even cross, I probably don't want to cross these off, but maybe check them off as you use them. You're not really going to use them more than once in a single problem. So I've already used this one. So the only other conversion rate with grams on my paper is this one. So I'm going to put my grams, my 1,000 grams, in the denominator, and then my 1 kilogram in the numerator. Okay, so grams on top is going to reduce with grams on the bottom, and now I'm left with kilograms. Okay, so one step closer. I'm at kilograms, so I should have one more step to take me to pounds. So I'm going to check off this conversion rate. I only have one left, okay, and it does. It takes me from kilograms to pounds. So I'm going to set up my last conversion. Kilograms is on top, so I'm going to put kilograms on the bottom. So 1 kg is going to be equal to 2.2 pounds, so I'm going to put my pounds on top. So kilograms on top reduces with kilograms on the bottom, and then all of my units have reduced except for pounds, and that's how I know that when I calculate this, my final answer will be in pounds. So to type this in your calculator, the easiest thing is to type it just the way you see it on your paper with the parentheses. So for the first number, I have 147.84. I'm going to open my next set of parentheses. And this one, I have a fraction. So I'm going to go ahead and do control divide. And I have 0.932 over 1. Okay. I'm going to set up my next set of parentheses. I have another fraction here. So again, I'm going to control divide. I have 1 in the numerator, 1,000 in the denominator. And then the final one is here. So I'm going to arrow over, open another set of parentheses, control divide. 2.2 goes in the numerator, 1 goes in the denominator. And that's the whole thing. Okay, it's all in my calculator at once. So if I just hit enter, I have my answer. I have 0.30313. Again, I want to write down at least 5 decimal places because I'm not quite done with this problem yet. And again, my answer right now is the only unit that I haven't crossed off at this point. So my units right now are pounds. So what I'm saying right here is that this is my weight of 1 box of soap. Okay, because I started with my volume of 1 box of soap. This was my volume of 1 box of soap. Because I started with that volume of 1 box of soap, with my conversions, I'm ending with the weight of 1 box of soap. So I'm not quite done. Again, the question is asking me how many boxes of soap can be shipped at one time. So I want to know how many boxes with this weight is going to fit into a box that has a maximum of this weight. So I'm going to be dividing. I'm going to have 3.5 pounds as my weight limit divided by the 0.30313 pounds that are that is representing the weight of 1 box. And then my answer, my pounds divided by pounds, is going to be reduced. So my answer is going to tell me how many boxes will fit. So in the calculator, 3.5 divided by 0.3. Actually, don't forget 3.5 divided by, to get an exact answer, I'm just going to arrow up, select it to bring it down, and hit enter. So I have 11.54615. And then again, that's my number of boxes of soap. Okay, I can't put a partial box of soap in the box, so what that tells me is that I can fit a maximum of 11 boxes. So that's my final answer. That's boxed in. And notice my final answer still doesn't have any units. I know that it's boxes of soap, but I'm not writing that down.